So this is probably going to look familiar. This is the start of day 4. I'm going to be tearing down camp here. It's pretty difficult here on the side of this ridge, so I'm not going to film it, but I want to get going here in about a half hour. And there is sort of, I don't know if it's a mile marker, but the trail now goes up and down a little bit and then goes down off the mountain, and we cross under 81. So we're going from one side of the valley, we're going to hike across to the other side of the valley, hike up over some mountains, and then cross back over. But it's kind of a, for me, it's kind of a milestone to make it to Atkins. So I'm going to hike through Atkins, and I'm going to see, depending on how I feel tonight and depending on what it looks like for availability for campsites, it's a possibility I'll do a hostel tonight. Not sure. I would rather not. So if I can find a way to get enough water down in the valley and carry that and then find a stealth site, I'll probably will stealth camp again. I'm planning, this is going to be day, let me see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this is Friday. This is going to be day 4. And I plan to meet Linda at a hostel in Burke's Garden on night 7, which would be Monday. So this is Friday, and that would be Monday. So I'd like to keep on trucking until we make that. The goal again is 8 miles. If the terrain is easy, I might have to go a little farther to get myself to a camp spot. So 8, 9 miles. I'm just trying to keep that pace here for the first week. While my body adjusts to all this, this is quite an ordeal, ordeal for your body to get out and all of a sudden be doing things it hasn't done for a long time. So going to do that. I've got a little breakfast to finish up here, and then I'm going to tear down and hit the trail. Hopefully I'll be on the trail by 8:30, which would be an hour earlier than yesterday. I can't seem to get on trail before 8:30, but that's partly because I like sitting in my hammock so much that I don't do things the most efficient way. So anyway, we'll see you guys on down the trail. It promises to be another beautiful day. It's going to be hot again, but hopefully I can get the up and down portion of my day out of the way before it gets hot, and that should be the case, because it's coming right up. I'm gonna go up over a little knoll here, down into a valley, up over another peak, and then we're just going to gradually descend all the way into Atkins for the rest of the day. So it looks like it's fairly even terrain once I make it over these next 2 humps. So I'll keep taking you along on my journey. Well, I made it up to the top of Glade Mountain, my second climb. The first climb was short, but it was murder. I had to I'm employing a different technique. Today my goal is to keep my heart rate no higher than the 130s, because you can hike a lot farther if you don't blow out your cardio. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just stopping and taking frequent rests on my climbs. Oops. And I'm going to take a little break every hour. You know, I'm not 25 anymore. I just can't plow into this stuff and expect it to just go as hard as I can till I drop. So that's the plan. I went up that first climb and down the other side, and I thought, man, this is going to be one hellacious day. But this climb up Glade Mountain has a lot of switchbacks, and it's been really, really awesome. So at my break back 15-20 minutes ago, before I started this climb, I pulled out the Gideon New Testament my father-in-law gave me, and I was reading the genealogy of Jesus. And what struck me in that was how many broken stories are in the genealogy of Jesus. It gives me hope, being a broken person, that people like Rahab and Tamar and Bathsheba are in the royal line of Jesus. Even though their stories aren't lily white and pristine, I think most of us expect that we're supposed to be perfect, and God can use us, and just Scripture doesn't bear that out. I used to wonder why all these crazy stories were in the Bible, but think I'm getting a clear picture there to show us that God is our redemption, and there's nothing too far from Him that can't be redeemed. So, anyway, we're going to keep plowing down this trail and see what we encounter. Every day is definitely different. I've got maps and guidebooks and stuff, but even those elevation profiles and things like that don't really give you a true picture of what's coming, so you just have to take it as it comes. So after we top out up here, the majority of that treadway should be downhill, which I'm looking forward to. The sun come out a bit. It's very humid. It's crazy. It hasn't rained, but it's very humid, and I'm sweating profusely. Might be a bit of an overstatement, but sweating a lot. So I need to be very mindful today to get enough fluids. Dehydration can cause fatigue and those kind of things. So many things to think of. Oh, I did get on the trail at 8:45. Didn't quite make 8:30, but I made 8:45, which is better than 9:30 yesterday. So, gonna get better at this. I realized that camping on the side of a ridge, well, it's nice to be able to have that option if you just can't go any further. It makes your packing up a lot harder when things slide down the hill. And then you'd look at my pack and think there isn't much in there, but there's so many little this and that's. When I went to take down my hammock this morning, I couldn't find the sack that it goes in, and I'm a little OCD about those things, so it really kind of threw me a curveball for a bit. I'm thinking, how did I lose that? And then I stuffed it in one of the pockets of my backpack where I hadn't done that before. So, lesson learned. Got to establish routines and only put things certain places so I always know where they are. And last night, something fell out of my bag. I saw it laying on the ground. Not an essential piece of gear, but it would have been a shame to leave it behind at the campsite. So, just being very methodical in the things you do and the way you pack and unpack is really, really helpful getting going. I would like to get my morning routine down to more like, instead of 2 hours, I think I started at 6:30 this morning. I don't say I started real hard, but rather than taking 2 hours to get on trail, or 2 hours and 15 minutes, I really like to get that routine down to where it's more like an hour and 15. So part of the reason being, as the weather warms up, it's much nicer to hike in the morning when it's cool than into the late afternoon when it gets hot. So anyway, those are my musings from the trail on day 4. Started out hard, looking up. This is really nice, easy trail here. So this is Gray Sun on day 4. If I find anything really captivating, I will shoot you another update as we go along. It's crazy the diversity of trail you get in one day. From being up on top of the mountain this morning to now walking through basically a rhododendron grove on a nice smooth path. This is cruisy trail, but it's really gorgeous. I've been spending a bunch of time walking beside streams in this rhododendron grove. So from this morning with a hard climb to now, I've got a cruisy trail into town here. At least I think I do. So wanted to show you all a little bit of the variety, so you never quite know in a day what you're going to get. The guidebooks don't tell you much. They just show you mileage and where your campsites are, where water is. So anyway, taking you along for the ride. Now I'm feeling a couple of sprinkles, so I might be getting a rain shower here in a little bit. Well, I'm going to show you where I had lunch today. I came out of the woods and saw a sign that a church was doing trail magic in the one-room schoolhouse. So we come up to the door. Sure enough, it says trail magic. Come in here, and they have 3 bins full of stuff that you can choose from to eat. Crackers, they got flossers, they got lollipops, cookies, and some bars in one. And then in this, they have all kinds of chips. You can see them there, all kinds of chips. Unfortunately, they didn't have plain Fritos, just Frito, I don't know, barbecue or something, chili, and which didn't sound good. And then here, the coup de grace, they have water and Gatorade. And so, just awesome. Came in here, I was tired, it had been raining, and found some stuff. And I am going to stretch out my mat on the floor, and I'm going to take a little nap, I think. I realized it was only 1:36, and I've got 3/4 of my miles in for the day. So that's very, very awesome. The people that provide trail magic, they don't know what it means to. It was quite a boost here. The other thing is I was needing to go to the bathroom, and there are 2 Johnny houses out back here. So what do you know? It's much better to go in a Johnny house than it is to have to figure your way about it in the woods. So what a win-win. Now since I've been in here, the rain has stopped, and so I'm going to take a little break here, maybe 45 minutes or so just to rest, and then I'm going to go about the rest of my day, which is into Atkins. I hope to pick up a few supplemental snacks for day 7. I only have a breakfast for day 7, and I need some snacks, and then I need to find a place to camp tonight. So thank you so much to whoever did this trail magic. It's awesome. Okay, well, today's end of day update is that I hiked about 11 1/4 miles today. The first 2 to 4 miles were fairly rough, scrambly hiking, and then it got very beautiful just hiking through some fairly level terrain through rhododendron by streams. I'll try to throw some photos up in my day 4 video. Tonight I'm setting up in a beautiful level campsite down in kind of a valley. Got water supply over this way that if I need water I can go find it. You can see my hammock already up. I've been taking a little load off, taking a little break since I got into camp, and I'm pretty beat. I have a funny story for you today. I wanted to make a milestone today. One of the things that the trail does is it crosses under 81, and it was just kind of a place I wanted to get there today. So I hiked a little extra, and right on the corner before you cross under 81 is an Exxon station, and I thought, I would really like a Coke. It'll add some more calories. I've been trying to get more calories in. It'll add calories. I'll buy a few extra bars to make a day 7 out of my food so that I can go for the 7th day. And so I stopped in. I looked at the Cokes. They had the big 20 ounces. I didn't 20 ounces. I didn't want to keep them up tonight. And so I looked for a smaller one, found a smaller size. Thought, great. Then I go outside after I filled my water bottles in the restroom. I went outside, and I'm going to drink this Coke. And I get it out, and it's a Coke Zero. So my whole point in getting a Coke was to get some extra calories, and I got none. But anyway, that's the way life goes. It's so funny. So tonight I'm going to camp here, and we're going to try to hit another 8 miles tomorrow. The terrain looks fairly rolling over tomorrow, and Sunday, and then on Monday it looks like I have a big kick your butt climb up into the Burke Garden, into what's called Walker Pass in the Burke Gardens, where I want to meet Mrs. Grayson at a hostel there. And so we're going to see what we can do today. Today went so much better. I know I talked about some in the early part of the video, trying to be more hydrated and put in more calories, and I found Trail Magic at Lindemoot School, and anyway, I got the more calories and I was able to go a whole lot longer today. So there really is something into finding your groove and what you need and listening to your body. So I am signing off. This is Grayson signing off on day 4. Is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Day 4. Grayson signing off on day 4, Friday.